Yeah, I guess, you know, this is part of what we're learning. We're learning how to interact with that. So there's this there's this energy that's there. There's this um, tension. There's this stuck place. There's this um, kind of frenetic thing that's there. Maybe expansiveness of the heart. Um, and then I'm trying to like do something with the energy. Like I'm trying to like do something with it, and I kind of just run into this, and then how do I interact with that? Um, so I think that's like what we're doing. We're learning to how do I learn this territory and begin to how can I work with it? Like um, I'm here in this internal pressure cooker walking around in my life, and how do I learn to navigate that and harmonize and be with it? And through these practices, through these movements, we start to get a sense, oh, I can learn to start to meet that and change my relationship, how I dialogue with it, how I interact with that. I can actually work with that. And like so where the line is where I'm with it, and then I whatever I do that I make it worse. I create more pressure by my movement. So that doesn't work, right? So then if I interact and then I sort of don't engage with it, then something about that doesn't feel real, right? So what is it to be with it, be with my process and open up and harmonize with it? So that's a lot of what we're learning here. We're learning the real nitty gritty of feeling all that and learning to work with it. Um, so so yeah, it's really about being able to yeah, in our own very personal, very in our own way, oh, I can meet that. When I start to meet that, things really change. And that's you'll get people get this kind of aha, they'll get this joy that starts to come from oh, I got a secret here, and I can work with this. Where I thought I couldn't work with it, and I thought there was some formula that I would do that would make it go away, or that I could, some ideal, or I'd have some experience which would make that go away. Actually, it's me like learning to meet it that the doors start to open when I do that. And that the same opening of those doors is what starts to take us further into our process. And again, the dominoes start to fall from meeting that. But it's real personal. It's real, so that's why we have this laboratory of practice where we creatively, like an artist, discover that in our own process. And that's why it's so beautiful. When people start to do it, it's so beautiful, and they become beautiful because, oh, uh, I know I'm doing something interesting, So it's so beautiful to see actually. And and then you see people who they made their practice into an idea, and they can become really skillful in those ideas, but you don't see that they've really profoundly um, transformed through it. And that comes from this real honest, real beautiful meeting of their experience, and letting it show them. And is yeah, yep, yeah, yeah. And it's so counterintuitive, because we think, well, it'll be like this: A plus B equals C, right? I always say that, but like, partly what happened for me was I was trying so hard, and just like killing myself trying so hard to do this, and I got really sick, but I started to see like, oh, that like there's something happening here that I'm not really letting happen because I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to do this thing. And when I start to let that happen, I don't know where it's going. I don't have any, there's no language, there's no felt sense language of how to do this, but something's happening and I have to let it happen. And when I started to trust that, it started to take me into something more and more beautiful that nobody can tell you how to do. You just have to go more and more into that. And that, maybe feels like, well, shit, I'm going backwards. I thought I was trying to do this, but I'm going backwards. But internally, you feel this thing, this process happening. And and as you do that, something beautiful is happening, and then you start to trust it and trusting it more and more and more. There are notions of like investing in loss, these terms like this, and this is what this is really about. Like, oh, I really deeply finally started to listen, and then the rewards start to come out of listening to that, not trying to do it like someone else is telling us to do it. Even the Roshi, I would go and I was, he'd say like, go straight. And I had to find my own way to be with that. And for me, going straight was to feel it in my own way. And then I would come and I would be coming full bore, but I couldn't do it like I thought he wanted me to. And people get really confused about that for like 30 years. They just get,